Hey everyone, welcome to the Bearded Bonsai YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you my corner of Japanese maples. As you can see, I have quite a few different trees really close together in this corner. Each one of these trees is actually in a grow bag that's buried in the ground. If they start to get too big, I can pop it out of the ground, move it, maybe put it in a bigger pot. Regardless, whenever we move, all these trees are coming with me. That's why they're in grow bags and kind of in a smaller area. So with that said, let's get started and check out what I've got here. This first large green one you can see here on the end is just your regular Acer palmatum. These trees I absolutely love, even though they're kind of the plain Jane version. I think there's some of the prettier ones out there. You can see the hot pink samaras on this one. It does have a little bit of leaf burn. I got this one out of a greenhouse and it went to pretty close to full sun, so it got a little bit of burn, but it's doing well. There you can see those hot pink samaras, the seeds. Just a beautiful tree. If you don't have these, I recommend them. You can get them pretty cheap. They're very underutilized and very beautiful. This next one here is actually a Acer palmatum purple ghost. This one's pretty recent to my collection. There you can see the reticulated leaves, that beautiful deep maroon veining with the reddish leaf. It is actually looking very purple right now. Can't wait to see this tree as it grows. And again, it got a little bit of frost damage to it one night, but it's doing well. So next, this little fella here is actually Taki no Gawa. I absolutely love this tree. I love all of the full moon varieties of Japanese maples, which refers to the leaf type. As you can see, the leaves on this one are very rounded, which gives them the full moon name. They're kind of circular. Very pretty tree, especially in the fall. Can't wait to see this one grow. Behind it, we have Acer palmatum and Irene. It actually has kind of a double trunk coming off there. This is a very pretty tree. Very pretty yellow leaves with a pink to orange border. Looking down at it, you can really see the colors. The leaves are very delicate on this too, like a jagged, frilly edge. Really like this tree. Next to it here is actually a bloodgood. Probably nearly everyone's first Japanese maple is a bloodgood, kind of by default, I guess. They're a classic tree. Again, very pretty. This one here in front of it is a Hanazu Hagoromo, the featherleaf variety. I really love these. I love how delicate they are. I love the new growth that tends to have this bright orange color, which fades to yellow and then green. You can kind of see all the colors there. This one has a pretty wild swirling leaf. There it is. I just think these are really cool because the leaves actually do resemble kind of feathers, especially when they're blowing in the wind. Gives it a very different appearance than most other trees. This large one next to it here is probably 7 feet tall. You notice the orange bark. That's actually an Acer circinatum Pacific Fire is a variety. The bark on this in the fall and winter is pretty amazing. It actually gets like a hot pink tone to it. The leaves were really cool last fall. See here even, You get different types of blushing to the leaves. Very pretty tree. And this one here is actually another one of these that had a lot of dieback. I actually had to chop it way back, as you can see. It seems to be responding well. It shot out all kinds of new growth. So hopefully it'll keep taking off. Next up here, we have Nakamoto Weeping. If you've never seen like the Nakamoto Weeping tree from Japan, do yourself a favor and look it up. It is just an unbelievably beautiful, gnarly old tree. I think it's like 600 years old. So I can't wait to see this one twist and turn as it grows. But I also love the leaves on this. It's a really nice green color, but the new growth has that pink orange color on top of it. Makes very nice look for the landscape or garden. Kind of tucked behind it here, we have Acer palmatum tamukiyama. It's a weeping lace leaf type. They have these beautiful maroon colored lacy leaves. Really delicate look, very lacy appearance to it. If we look in here at the new growth, a very bright red. Really cool on top of that dark maroon growth. Or turkey mama, as some people might call it. Next to it here is Kaiohime. This is like a small dwarf Japanese maple that actually, it branches out laterally, like side to side a lot. As you can see, the new growth on these is absolutely beautiful. The bright red and yellow on top of the green old growth is just really, really nice. And this one in particular actually has this really tall leader, which is super odd for this variety. So I staked it up. I'm really hoping that from this high point it starts going outwards. If I can get it to do that, I'm gonna have a very cool looking tree. But again, the new growth on these is just beautiful. Next to it, we have Sango Kaku, which, as you can see by its trunk and branches, is a red coral bark variety, kind of the OG of coral barks, but very, very pretty nonetheless. I love coral barks. I haven't had great success with them here, but I hope to figure out kind of what they need, because I absolutely love them. What's cooler than a tree with like red branches or orange? Like, that's pretty wild. Like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. Next to it, we have a little Katsura. Kind of one of the first ones to leaf out in spring. When they leaf out, the leaves are super bright orange. This one has become incredibly like light lime green with some really nice pinkish red new growth. I actually need to stake that main leader up on this one. But really cool tree, Acer palmatum Katsura. This one here, sticking out like a sore thumb, one of my favorites. This is Acer palmatum Summer Gold. Easy to see why it's called Summer Gold. It's this beautiful yellow color. It just really stands out, lights up. You can see the detail in the leaves, that light red outline, different shades of yellows, a little bit of green in there. Just a really pretty tree. There's the Tamukiyama again, and behind it is actually just a small regular Acer palmatum, kind of filling in for now. Next up here is Kurenai, known as the Red Lion's Head. Super pumped about this tree. Very unique. It was really bright red when it leafed out this spring, and as you can see, it's kind of become this incredibly dark, almost black looking on some leaves. Dark greenish maroon. In the summer, when it starts to get new growth of green, it should leaf out bright red on top of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. That should be beautiful. This one here is definitely one of my favorites. I love the super bright maples that just really stand out. This one here is Orange Dream. See if you can get a top-down look, just the different colors. It's so bright, so bright. One of the brighter yellows I've seen, honestly. Definitely recommend this one. It makes a huge statement in the garden. The new growth, like so many do, has that really nice border to it. Extremely pretty tree. You can kind of see with that green behind it, that contrast, it just pops. It's amazing. The sun hits that thing, you need sunglasses. Here in the front, we have a little Manio Nosato, and these things are super cool. See if I can get a close up of some of these leaves. Yeah, there you can see right here. The leaves on these get these kind of patches of like a dark purple on a green leaf. Here's kind of more of a, here's a better example right there. You can really see it starting to come in there. This one's little, as it ages and grows, it'll get way more of that look to it. There we go. Really cool little tree. Looking forward to seeing that one grow. Next to it, we have Acer palmatum eye candy. And even though this is definitely some candy for your eyes, that is not what the name means. I can't remember for sure how it goes, but there you go. This thing gets some beautiful, beautiful pink, like neon pink leaves that fade to green. And as you can see, like, you've got pink, green, yellow, a little bit of everything. This is just a super cool tree. Again, like, probably say it with every tree. I can't wait to see this one age and grow. I can't even imagine these things full grown. It'll just be amazing. Just behind it, we have Winter Orange, which is actually, as you can see, a coral bark. It's called Winter Orange, but it is looking very, very red at the moment. But again, I love coral bark varieties. No one really talks about the leaves on them, but I mean, check these out. Look at that new growth. These things are very, very cool. It doesn't matter the season, they're super cool trees. Okay, up here in front, this is Acer palmatum Red Select. This is another lace leaf variety, not as weeping as Tamukiyama. Really, really fine foliage, really dark, pretty reds, maroons. These things look super gnarly once they get older, which is like my favorite kind of tree. Really cool. Okay, next up, we have Acer palmatum Radiant. And this one in time will have hot pink and white variegation. You can start to see a little there. There's a few leaves that are showing it. But these things, once they get older and have their true colors on them, really do look amazing. And something kind of cool about these, focus in here, maybe. There we go. Like you can see the trunk, how the trunk is actually striped. The trunk itself shows that variegation, almost like a candy cane look to it. Really, really cool. Behind it, this beautiful red tree. This is Acer palmatum atropurpureum. Don't ask me to say that again because I'll mess it up again. But this is just the red version of the plain Jane Japanese maple. Some people use these for rootstock when grafting. But as you can see, like on their own, they're beautiful trees. Like I would compare this to Bloodgood. This one's actually not as dark a red as my Bloodgood. You can see this one here. And there's a large Bloodgood, which seems to be a lot darker than this guy. I really like this. It's not really talked about just because it's a plain Jane tree. But in my opinion, it's hard to beat. I would get yourself one of these if you don't have one. Very cool trees. Alright, next up here, one of my favorites, definitely. You can see this thing just, man, it stands out. This is Acer Shirasawanum Jordan, known as the yellow full moon maple. And as you can see, it lives up to that name. Just absolutely beautiful, bright yellow foliage, kind of green where this is protected from the sun. Just amazing, amazing color. And again, my favorite leaf shape. That might be my favorite Japanese maple going right now. It's hard to beat that. Just amazing color. I love those trees. Next up here, have Acer palmatum deshojo. It's kind of in between stage right now. When these leaf out in the spring, they're incredibly bright red. That's what they're known for. That's why people love them. That's why a lot of people use them for bonsai. In the spring, they're just amazing. This one has started to go green, but it also still has a lot of red, really light red, almost a pink. Really cool. It's very different than any of my other trees out here right now. This next one here, this green guy, is Hubbell's Super Cork. This is a pine bark maple with your regular green foliage, but I actually love the color and shape of these leaves. Really finely pointed, little serrated. Really cool. Let's see. This is a young tree, so it's not showing much in the way of pine bark. You can see at the very bottom, it's starting to get that characteristic, a little. These are supposed to show that way earlier than any of the other pine bark varieties. So I'm pretty pumped to see that. Watch this guy grow. See what it becomes. Over here, next up, Acer Shirasawanum aureum. So this is known as the golden full moon maple, but as you can see, it's more of a green. So you have Jordan back there, right there, which is really pretty yellow. And then here is aureum. I have a mistake here, but I haven't gotten it tied up yet. But again, it has these really pretty full moon leaves, really bright green. Absolutely love the full moon varieties. Absolutely love them. And I do have some more trees, but that is all of them in my little forest corner here. This big guy here is actually a Bloodgood. can hear the birds singing in the background. It's a beautiful evening. There you can see my neighbor's really big bloodgood, kind of framing these in the background. Not intentional, but when you can borrow your neighbor's landscape, why not, right? Alright, there you have it. There will be more videos to come. They will be better, I promise. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe. There will be more to come. Have a great day.